Good morning, everybody. My name is Bettina Nebermann, and I was asked to present in this summit. And I'm very honored by this request. I have 20 years of marketing experience and technology experience. I used to work, and right now I'm living in Switzerland. I used to work in different multinational companies, in different markets, in different regions across the world. And the topic is a question that I'm getting more and more in the last year. Is customer experience more important than brand experience? Or do we still need brands today? And what kind of role can artificial intelligence or technology play to create brand and customer experience? So let's start. To set the scene, competitors are not the ones who are putting you out of business. It's the customer who does. Not being customer oriented nowadays is the biggest threat for every company and for every brand. Companies that excel at the customer experience, they grow their business disproportionately up to 8% or 20% above market even. I have seen these examples for the companies I worked for. Coming to what customer experience or superior customer experience look like, you need to understand that while 80% of the companies think they are delivering a great experience, only 8% of the customer or the consumers agree with it. In other words, companies still have a long way to go. But this also means that there is a great chance of disruption, of disrupting a competitor or gaining market share in any industry that you are working in. Today, 90% of the companies are competing primarily on the basis of customer experience. 10 years ago, in 2010, it was only 36%. It means as well that everything that the brand does, such as marketing, research, advertising, and so on, has an impact on the customer experience. Customer experience management may be the most important investment that a brand can make in today's competitive business climate. This one is even more valuable, and you see the numbers here for the digital native consumers. They have an app for everything they expect. When it comes to the digital world of experience, they have high expectation, therefore they have high requirements. And with an appealing design or a positive user experience alone, you will not longer be able to bond with them. The apps and websites used must offer significant added value and adapt to their behavior. And this behavior is mainly characterized by one thing: speed. Digital natives are used to get information they want anytime and anywhere without having to go to too much trouble. And they have a small and a very short attention span. So when it comes to customer experience and brand experience, these both concepts are rooted in the needs and the wishes of the customers. And although they sound very similar, they differ in their approach. The brand experience is aimed at the consumer even before he becomes customer. The customer experience helps them to guide or helps guiding them or to engage with the customer during the transaction or interaction with the brand. In short, the brand defines a customer expectation of their customer experience. And you need to understand this link between these both. Customer experience is how well you deliver or you meet these expectations. The difference between these both, your brand is what you stand for in the market. It set what the expectation for the interaction with your business. Customer experience is defined as a way customers perceive the interaction with your brand. So to build up a holistic model, which I recommend you to do so, you need to define the customer experience proposition first. The customer experience proposition is a basic attitude that the company or the brand is having, and how he sees the interaction with the customer with their customers. And then you roll it back to the brand positioning, because influence, obviously, the brand, if it's a new brand, the whole brand architecture. If it's an existing brand, it has a big influence on the repositioning. So I give you one example to make it clearer. If your brand stands for simplicity and flexibility, customer expect simplicity and flexibility from their interaction, whether it is in-store, online, or over the phone. If your customer experience does not consistently deliver on this promise, which is simplicity and flexibility, you have a problem. The brand defines, it's a long-term brand building, defines the expectation that you need to put in place. Customer experience is how well you meet these expectations. Brand experience is a long-term approach, strategy, and grows and evolves over time. Consumers are constantly concerned with brand experience on their way the relationship develops. And you see a lot of brand who has developed over time. And if you don't develop your brand over time, you are not relevant for the consumer anymore. Brand experience is it somehow the act, or let's say the brand experience is activating consumers to become a customer. Customer experience is much more immediate in the approach. If your customer cannot navigate to your e-commerce site, for instance, because the customer journey is complicated and bulky and it will not respond immediately, the result is a lost customer, or at least a lost sale. It does not matter how good your brand experience is in this case, the customer experience, when the customer experience is missing. So here I summarized the findings. Brands set customer expectation for the experience. Customer experience is how well you deliver on those expectations. Delivering an ideal customer experience is possible only if you understand this link between these both, and nowadays as well, if you use technology to do so. Both concepts, or let's say the brand experience, is measured differently. Brand experience is measured across a number of data points, such as walk-bys, conversion, return visit. It's tracked from retail store or from places of purchase, online or offline. In order to prove the return on investment of brand experience, we use reporting, surveys, companies like Nielsen and brand positioning, research, and so on. Customer experience is typically measured through customer satisfaction scores, or NPS, Net Promoter Scores, or customer effort scores. These metrics requires from the customer to communicate with us or with a brand, such as you have feedback surveys or star ratings. This one you find pretty much on every e-commerce platform, Amazon ratings. The difference between these is the engagement is tracked without customer doing anything in the case of brand experience, whereas satisfaction is something that a customer is willing to share with the business. So, how can you leverage technology? And here is one point that is very important, which I see that very often is wrongly done by companies. Strategy is first. You need to decide what technology is enabling your strategy, but you need to have strategy first. And here, this one is something that some of you might have seen before, but you have to start with customer experience, and then you work back through brand experience and toward technology. What kind of technology is enabling you to deliver on your customer experience and brand experience? artificial intelligence and holds a vast potential for companies to look to reinvent their business model or to transform their customer experience and their brand experience also. With artificial intelligence, you can become a better marketeer. And from my perspective, I was always dreaming about having a one-to-one relationship with my consumers when I started in marketing, but we were working with big clusters. Artificial intelligence and machine learning as well, the combination of these both, can enable you to do so. For example, a car buyer nowadays consumes over 900 different contents online on tens of different platforms before buying a car or going to the retailer. All these activities leave a data point, which one could analyze purely theoretically by hand. But to build a customer journey that is simple, but this one is simply impossible to do this one for all the customers that we're having. And artificial intelligence will solve exactly that for us. We finally are able to really understand how decision-making and buying processes are taking place and how we can specifically become part of this journey with marketing content and activities. When we understand the journey, we understand the consumer. So how can we use this one? For instance, how can we use technology to gain efficiency and effectiveness? This is a question that you need to ask yourself. For modern marketing, the use of technology is highly important. I give you some examples. Artificial intelligence allows you to communicate the right message in the right moment. It enables you to do content personalization up to the audience of one. Artificial intelligence makes content production even automated and scalable. So you can have conversation which are automated and scalable. And for instance, take the case of media planning. It becomes possible to do media planning with zero dispersion loss and a maximum of efficiency, which was not the case 10 years ago. And this is, from my perspective, a very important part as well. With artificial intelligence, marketing can finally move from channel attribution to content attribution. What is the most important content for the consumer? What kind of content does he look for? Is he looking for, or is influencing his customer journey to the purchase? Beforehand, we always said, okay, we sold this in retail and this one is sold online, but we never understood what kind of content is really interesting for the consumer. And artificial intelligence allows you to get a better understanding. So from my perspective, and I'm working in technology right now, I'm looking really forward to the journey to become a better marketeer. It's an ongoing learning day by day, and you really start to understand your customer better than you did years ago. So now we're coming to some example of how artificial intelligence is deployed in different companies. And this is an example of Zurich Insurance company. They introduced artificial intelligence in the claims handling, and they saved hours of work. And this one is the important part, and it's contributing to the customer experience. The claim processing time for the customer moves from 50 minutes to 5 seconds. So you exactly know if you're getting your money because you made a claim or you're not getting it. So this one is really highly important for them, for the customer experience. Another one, or another company that is using artificial intelligence and bots is carat. It's a company that is enabling, they're using IBM Watson, and they are doing the comparison of diamond prices across platforms, across different buying platforms for diamonds. And only in 3 months, when they started this chatbot, which is called Rocky, they had only in 3 months they had 50,000 interaction and conversation with users. And just imagine for a normal startup to have 50,000 conversation with consumers before artificial intelligence was impossible. It is highly unlikely that they would be able to do so. Here is another example of the use of artificial intelligence for messaging or for advertising. McCain in Tokyo deploys a robot as a creative director. So they did, I think it was in 2016, they created this robotic creative director. They investigated 10 years of the most successful campaigns that they have delivered to clients. And then they let their leave, or the computer was building up a new campaign. In the same time, they had a human creative director doing the same job. And then both of the advertising spots were compared and rated by consumers. And to be honest, yes, the human campaign was winning the game, but still it was a very, very small, or was kind of 3 or 4% of differential against the robotic campaign. So you see that you can really use artificial intelligence for a lot of marketing areas. Under AMOUR, it's another example. They are amazing brand, and they're doing an outstanding performance because they're delivering added value through artificial intelligence. They have a app which is a record download of this app from customer perspective. And they analyze user workouts and give personalized training and nutrition advices. And some of you might have experienced this this app beforehand. But there is a lot of stuff as well. There are limits to artificial intelligence. They will not solve our problems.
Emma. Huh? Emma. 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 Emma.
As you can see, obviously, technology is not the solution to everything. There is one. The biggest limitation of artificial intelligence in marketing is, from my perspective, emotions. Emotions are extremely important. It's not all about data points. You need to create emotional bonding with your consumers, and you need to create an emotional bonding with your customers, but especially with your consumers. And I want to give you some successful examples. You need to win their heart, and it's not only the technical ability to deliver customer experience. Brand and customer experience need to be able to deliver emotions.
Sometimes we would like to look inside our children's heads and find out what they think about us as parents. So we decided to find out and ask the children to tell us about what they truly love and how they feel protected, and set it up so that the parents could watch. secretly. What would you love to be one day?
Maybe a teacher from big school. Eerst een goede papierpetitie. Toen leren boerhandel werden. Toen hadden Dracula's. Ik sogar een fledermaus verwanderd. Vrouw!
Who is the strongest person to protect you?
The baby. Papa, beautiful. My father. Because it can lift one half sofa up. The whole is mega sterk. Dus de grootste dood. Mama, ze vroeg.
How do you protect yourself?
Kalinita. Im Kleiderschrank und Knägelfädchen.
How do your parents protect you?
Papa, met mijn lid. Einmal im Monat. Then noch the big. There was a big rock behind my daddy. The rock really crashed into me. My daddy saved me because he didn't want that I hurt myself on. The carat. I was so.
How much do you love your mum?
Never as big as I am.
How much do you love your dad? How does your mum comfort you?
Auch wenn ich sie Träume habe, dann fange ich in der Nacht an zu brüllen und ich rief Mami. Die macht das so.
Because you truly love your family. You protect it in the best way.
You have seen emotion is highly important for brands and for customer experience. And it's also, supported by data. Emotion is selling and it delivers better business results. So don't lose yourself only in technology and the data points. Always think what these data points are giving you as an information and build on something which is creating emotion with your customers and with your consumers. This is one of the last slides. So focus on brand experience and focus on customer experience. Amazon is a classical example to focus on customer experience. You got the ratings, but it's not really about the emotional bonding with the brand. It's about ratings. On the other hand, you have brands like Gucci, which changed their approach, and they were highly working on the customer experience, and they outperformed in the last years with a kind of growth rate of 70% the whole industry of luxury. But they have a focus which is more on brand experience, and then afterwards they added on the customer experience, which allowed them to outperform by 17% the whole industry. But there are companies as well, they're doing both. If you think about Apple, which is a technology company, they, from the early beginning on, concentrated on both. It's not only the technology platform and the customer experience, it was also the brand experience. So Apple is one of the top rated brands worldwide, and they did both. Brand experience and customer experience. They had an equal concentration on both. So, coming back to what is marketing excellence, and just keep in mind that nowadays consumers are here in the mobile first world, and companies are pretty much, if ever, entering the omni-channel world. So there is a gap to fill, and artificial intelligence can help you to do so. Conclusion: in summary, both brands and customer experience are equally important for revenue generation. Both are essential success factors nowadays. Our way of life is about to change dramatically, and we're seeing this one as well, in particular in this corona crisis, where we are having the obligation to change our lifestyle and to have a different approach. And digital is really important to deliver a way of doing business. There are many ways that artificial intelligence can change our business environment, or will change our business environment, and it's just started. Keep in mind that 99% of the companies, they don't even use the data they have. Artificial intelligence will group and will make these data accessible for these companies. And companies are sitting on a lot of data nowadays. Try to experiment and pilot to get a feeling for technology, and build your first use cases and business cases around this one. I highly encourage you to do so, because right now it is the most important area of growth and that you can build up. Be clear of what you want to achieve and measure. So it's define first the strategy, and then you choose a technology that is enabling you to deliver on the strategy. So let's stay connected. Here is my LinkedIn data. I'm happy to connect with you, either on LinkedIn or on Twitter. And have a good day. Thank you for the attention.